What does spread mean in forex? So in the previous lesson, we've talked about the currency pairs and their bid and ask prices. Of course, we know that the bid price is what the broker is buying a currency from you, meaning that it is the price that you are selling at. For example, the bid here is what you're selling at, and that's what the broker is buying from you at that price there. And the ask price is the price at which the broker is selling the currency to you, and you're buying it at the same time. So this is the ask price from the broker, and on your side, that is what you're buying at. In other words, you're exchanging the two at that price there. Now, what does the spread? The spread simply means the difference between the bid and ask price. In other words, it is the difference between the selling and the buying prices. And that amount of money, that difference there, is what the broker gets in terms of as a commission. The brokers, remember, brokers simply link us between the big banks and us, the traders. In other words, the brokers are just like middlemen, and the only way they make money is through either widening or narrowing the spread. So in this case, how do we get the spread? Let me just take something here. Let me just type something here. So I have, which one is higher? The buying price is higher. Okay. So I have 1.27963 minus 1.27959. So what is the difference in terms of pips? In terms of pips, I'll simply come and I get my calculator. I hope you can get you can even pause the video, get the number of pips, and then get the amount of money that the broker gets as commission from your trade, whether you've sold or you've bought. You can just write it out, and then we'll see what we shall get. If you do together here, I hope that you've done your computations here. I'll simply come and write my 1.27963 minus 1.27959. The number of pips that I've got here is 0.4 pips. 0.4 pips. So remember, we said that in case the decimal places are 5, the pips, you consider the first 4, and you count them from the last figure here. And in this case, we have 0. And then the 50th value is the fraction of a pip. So in this case, is 4 out of 10, which is 0.4 pips. In the case of Japanese yen and then the US dollar, for example, which is having 3 decimal places, for that case, you consider 2 decimal places to give the number of pips, and then the 3rd decimal place gives you the pipette, the fraction of the pip. So in this case, we have 0.4 pips. So that is the spread. So how much does the broker charge you for every trade, for every position that you take? You simply get the number, the number of pips which you have got here. In this case, you multiply by the value per pip. The value per pip on a standard account. For every pip, in case you take one lot, this is the lot, remember, lot size or the volume. For every lot on a standard account, the value per pip is 10. In this case, we are having the lot size as 0.01. So simply multiply the lot size, multiply by the lot size, multiply by the lot size, which is 0.01, then times the value per pip, which is 10. And this will give us, for every position that we take, that's what the broker will be charging you. Remember, these values here are not static. And when the news come, at that time of the news, for example, the CPI, the NFP, whenever you have news, some brokers normally widen these spreads here. You find that during the news time, like at 3:30 Ugandan time, on the news calendars. So during news time, some brokers widen this. That's why sometimes in case you have little money, the brokers cannot allow you to take a position because the spread will be big enough such that you have little amount of money on your account. So once the spread widens, the more the broker gets. If you take very many trades, the more the broker takes as commission. But the good thing is that if you go in profits, the spread may not matter a lot. And another thing, when there's too much volume of trades, in other words, if you have very many traders, like for example, the New York session and then the London session, the spread is normally narrowed down. And during, for example, the Asian session, where you have very few traders in the market, the spread normally widens. That is at night during Ugandan time, for example. And so it is normally advisable to trade when there is too much volume of traders, like in the London session and the New York session. However, you can take trades at any time of the day. That's what I'm going to say about spreads. Next is a quiz for you. Enjoy.